Hey, Dean, good afternoon. It's really good to speak to you. It's been about 38 years since we've last connected. And yeah, just by way of introduction, vice captain of Jeppe Rowing 1983. And we probably haven't spoken since. So it's good to be on the call with you.
Sure, thanks, man.
It's good to have you, man. And so let's go straight into those questions. The first question is, why rowing? What brought you into the sport in the first place?
Well, I think, my brother was a year ahead of me, and suddenly I got hooked up with the family going to a rowing regatta on a Saturday, and I think I suddenly saw there was a different style of sport. The guys were having exciting, fun times. And it's very family involved, definitely family involved. All the families were there. I mean, the brying and guys are socializing, and it was a different breed of a game. I noticed the opposition teams they're exciting. They were very close knit. And Jeppe, Cares, Parktown those days, it was Mondial. We never had this in Benedict's. We had, sorry to say, they had money so they could buy the boats. And that's where the big difference comes in the sport, is your backing on the boats. But yeah, it was definitely, I found strong in the family field. And was exciting. It was something different, and that's how I got into it through my brother, who was a year ahead of me.
Yeah, no, I remember, Sean. So, Dean, how's your time as a Jeppe boy and as a Jeppe oarsman impacted on your adult life?
I think what's important is you learn very strongly about disciplines, because you have to be very disciplined in rowing. You have certain time schedules, and it's also teach you time management, because you got your rowing times every day at a certain time, and you can't go outside that time because there's somebody else waiting for your boat. It's you got to be on time. When it comes to the regattas, you've got to launch your boat. You're going to, prior to launching, you make sure that that boat 100%. You service it, it's like your little baby. It was interesting. The guys will watch it, check the riggers, make sure the slide's working, make sure everything's working and in control of it. And then you get out on the water and you've got a certain amount of time to get up to the start. And it's time management. My wife always complains. She says to me, "You're so meticulous about time." I said, "Well, I learned from an early age." It's amazing. I can't be 5 minutes late. It's like the start of a regatta. You can't be 5 minutes late. You're not going to make it.
This is true. You just don't race. You don't race on the day. If you're not there on time, they start without you, basically.
Yeah. Disqualified.
Yeah. So I mean, one of the points that you raised there, and certainly it had become more of an issue with Jeppe Rowing, was that in terms of equipment and in terms of boats, up until 2018, 2019, there's a serious lack of equipment. I mean, I remember our days, I remember you and me running up and down on regatta days, working ourselves into a frenetic sort of like state just to get the boys in and out the boat and on the water at the right time in order for them to make those starts. And that's probably a lot of where your time management sort of focus comes in. And I mean, of course, last year, Jeppe Boats and Blades, we managed to get 15 boats into the club, which is going to significantly change it changes a lot of things. It means that more boys can row. They can row in all age groups, and more people, more boys in more age groups, and of course, ultimately have the opportunity to row, because there were times in the last couple of seasons the guys didn't have the chance to train and they didn't have the chance to row because they didn't have the equipment. So I guess that's a prelude to the next question: is what I know you've been following Jeppe Boats and Blades and the things that we've been doing. What are your thoughts about equipping Jeppe boys and Jeppe rowing, the Jeppe rowing club as a whole?
You know, and I think it's all again support. The stronger the support of the people around the country, the stronger they're going to get. You know, it makes it so much easier instead of just certain individuals having to fork out all the time. If you make it a spread it across the board, it makes it so much easier and lighter work. And as a the financial burden. I think it's also important to understand that whether it's the 13A crew or the 13C crew or the first 4 or the first 8, you're all equal, you're all part of a club. It's important to understand. It's a club, it's a team, and that's the strongest point.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And we had the privilege of, as I say, equipping the club at all age groups, and I think that's just fantastic. You know, we started off with the first 8, with the new boat, but you know we've been able to cater for all the age groups now, which is just absolutely fantastic. So Dean, from your time as a Jeppe oarsman, is there one particular significant memory that you can think of with great fondness that you'd like to share with us?
I think, yeah, probably. I'd been to the club for about my 3rd regatta, and with Florida regatta, and I won gold. And I promise you couldn't get that medal off my neck. It was like glued to me. And that's what excited me. It was like this thing. And, you know, it motivated you every time you wanted it again, And it's exciting, you get rewarded. And as a kid, and we were kids, we were little boys running around, and finally growing up into men when you got into 9 and matric, and it all sort of changed, and it made it all more different and exciting.
Absolutely. Well, Dean, thank you so much for your time. It's been really great to speak to you, and you know, I really hope just, you know, that after 38 years we can keep the contact and we can actually talk more often. So thanks for your time, and for everybody else who's been listening to this interview, please you know, just keep your ears peeled to what's happening. Lots of exciting things in terms of what Jeppe Boats and Blades is planning, what the rowing club is planning, and yeah, we look forward to if not speaking with you, then at least staying in contact. So thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.